So the first thing I want to discuss is the campaign structure. I see a lot of content, a lot of webinars, a lot of training on PPC, and I don't think that this specific topic is getting enough attention. Everybody's talking about, how to lower echoes, how to get new keywords and so on, and they're neglecting the campaign structure. So for me, a good campaign structure is really the foundation for achieving our advertising goals. Now, again, I don't want to say it's the foundation to get a lot of sales or low echoes, but once we set our PPC goals, I think it's very, very crucial to get good campaign structure that will support it. So when we have a good structure, this will allow us to easily analyze the data. This means the ability to get the data quickly, the data we need and when we need it. It will help us make the right decisions. Of course, it will allow us to optimize quickly based on our advertising goals, and also it will allow us to expand. And for me, the most important thing about campaign structure is that it must support your PPC optimization logic. So I don't want someone to just take a structure without understanding how he's going to optimize it later and say, okay, this is a good structure. I always recommend, first of all, to write down yourself a logic of how you're going to optimize. Where is your focus? Are you going to use negatives? Are you going to do bid updates every week, and so on and so on? And then the campaign structure that you build, it needs to support it. Because if you build a campaign structure that works for someone and you do a total different approach of optimization from that person, his campaign structure might not work out for you as well as it works for him.
But here's the problem that we usually see near around this is that when people start off, they don't understand enough about how the importance of campaign structure, or they started a course or they did something. And a lot of times we see clients that approach us and say, I really need to change my campaign structure. And that's already after they've been running for 6 months. And, so I hope that here, we're going to publish this as well, but I hope that this is going to help some of the people that, are either in early stages or they want to go ahead and go ahead and set up to be able to learn from this and not have to go through 6 to 9 months of struggling or realize that they need to change their campaign structure far down the line. So,
I don't want to tell you how many times I changed my campaign structure again because I wasn't aware and I just went with the flow and downloaded some manuals or some instructions and just go with it, and it really does matter and makes a change.
Right. Okay, so tell us a little bit about how you structure these out.
Okay, so again, this is a short representation of the basic structure. I do want to mention that there are more campaign types that I specifically use, but for me this is the core. So Amazon is doing a lot of changes, and just lately he has been migrating the AMS platform campaigns into the Seller Central. And as of today, Amazon is allowing several different types of campaign, which I'm going to cover right now. So the first type on the left side, sorry, on the left side we see the sponsored products campaigns. So under sponsored products, these are the the regular campaigns we all know from Seller Central, the old ones. So in this area, I have 3 types of campaigns. I have the manual campaigns, which under them we have the exact match type, the phrase, and the broad. For me, by the way, I use each match type in a different campaign. I know some people prefer to do it in a different ad group, but I really like to keep it structured and organized. For me, it's easier to extract data that way. The second type is the auto campaign, the auto targeting. And again, the people who has been tracking the Amazon changes saw in the last few months that Amazon introduced a bit more depth into the auto campaigns, and they provided us with 4 types of targeting for the auto. So in the past, we would just run the auto campaign and we would get the results without any control on which products we want to see, which keywords, just define one bid and that's it. So Amazon now allow us to manage by targeting. It provides us products which are close match to our product, loose match, which is like more broad aspect of the product, products which can be substitute to our product, and products which complements our product. So for example, if our product is I don't know, like a yoga ball, then maybe a yoga mat will be appeared in the complements. So what I
By
like
the
to
way,
do,
I think that a lot of people find this confusing. The whole close match, loose match, substitutes. I mean,
yeah,
you know, from what speaking again to a lot of sellers, you can see substitutes is usually ASINs, and complements is also usually more focused on ASIN targeting.
yeah.
Um,
So for me,
close match and loose match. Yeah, go ahead.
yeah, so for me, I don't care too much about which actual products are displaying, under the auto campaign. For me, it's about the data, analyzing, see what's working better, what's working, not as good, and optimize based on that. So what I like to do is I like to, for each product to have an automatic campaign and open 4 different ad groups, while in each ad group, I just keep active the one of the targeting. So one ad group will have only the close match running, the other ad group will have only the loose match running, and so on and so on. And that way, I give Amazon, like a signal saying, okay, I want you to focus here only on close match. And I really utilize all the traffic that Amazon is able to send.
You're
And
also
of
a little more flexible on the bid because you can set the bids within that ad group specific.
Well, Amazon actually allows us also to change bids even if they're in the same ad group, like different
Okay.
targeting.
Mhm.
But still, I think that having them in a separate ad group, gives a bit more focus. There are a
It
lot
gives
of,
that additional, yeah, okay.
yeah. So this is how I'm treating my auto campaign. And the third type of campaign that is under sponsored product is the product targeting, which is also not exactly new, but it is introduced maybe in the last year or so. So product targeting, as its core, it's targeting specific products. It's not targeting keywords or anything else. But still within this section, Amazon allows us to do some, different type of targeting. So I like to have 4 type of campaigns. This is the basic campaigns. There are more that I think are very, very important for each product. The first one is a defense campaign. Defense campaign is I'm going to talk about it in a bit, but the goal is just to protect our own brand. ASINs is when I target direct competitors. Categories is when I target a specific category. Again, and Amazon will show us 2 products within this category, and I can also target specific brands. So again, Amazon will look at the brand. It has like 20 different ASINs. Then he will show our products for those ASINs. So each one of those options, Amazon also allows us to refine the way that we target. So we can decide to target only products that has a specific rating stars below four stars, or only products with a price that is higher than our price, and so on. So it's very interesting. There are a lot of different things we can test in there. But again, those are the 4 core campaigns that I like to use.
Right, right. I mean, and for those as well, you set basically an individual ad group for each.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, actually, in here, I sometimes open different campaigns. So the defense will have its own campaign, and usually for the ASIN categories and brands, I manage it in different ad groups in a separate campaigns, because it all depends on the goal of the campaign and how quickly I want to extract the data and look at it in a structured way when I do the optimization.
Right, right. You've also mentioned here sponsored brands. Maybe you can just give us a quick kind of like overview of
So
sponsored brands.
yeah, of course. So sponsored brands is something that Amazon again is migrating, and just in the last few weeks finished migrating from the AMS platform. And it allows us 3 types of campaigns. The first one is the headline search ads. Is, when you go into Amazon and you do a search, you see on the top like a banner of 3 or 1, 2, or 3 products with a nice title or image. So that's the HSA, the headline search ads. I target 2 types of targeting. One, I target specific products, and one, I target keywords like a regular campaign. The other one is the PDA, the product display ads. This is when we target specific products, but they appear in a different place. You know, when we target from the product targeting or the other campaigns, that our product appears somewhere in the middle of the listing. You know, when you scroll down and you see a lot of products. So the PDA appears in a different place. Sometimes if you go into products and you look under the buy box, under the price, sometimes you will see like a little box with a product and a short text. So this is coming from the product display ads. And the last option under sponsored brand, which is very, very new, is video ads, which I highly, highly recommend to everyone that has this option available. To run it, this requires you a brand registry if you have, and all you need to do is just prepare a short video up to 45 seconds. And those video, based on mine and other sellers testing, are very, very converting with a low bid, because a lot of sellers are still not running them. So this is also a new and a very good option to run. And one important remark when I see a lot of people not paying attention to it: use one product per campaign. Don't throw all your products into one manual campaign or research or one auto campaign, because it makes your life very, very hard when you want to go and extract the data. And I know that some people says, okay, look, I'm only using it for real variation. So even for that, there are situations when it will be harder to analyze and to optimize. And I'll give you a very quick example. So let's say that you're selling t-shirts, and you have like a blue variation, pink variation, white, and so on and so on. And you decide to put in the auto campaign all your products. You say, okay, it's the same product, it targets the same keywords. I see no reason to manage it in different campaigns. But you can agree with me that if you sell a blue t-shirt and you're targeting blue t-shirt keyword, that you will convert very, very high. But the keyword blue t-shirt for the product, which is pink t-shirt, will convert very, very low. And when you extract the data, you will see the overall data for all of them together. You will see the overall sales, overall clicks, overall echoes. And there is no way to really understand which product converted good, which product didn't. So I always recommend use one product per campaign, and don't be afraid, to have a lot of campaigns and put the time to optimize them properly.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that we encounter a lot. You get 5, 10, 15 ASINs under the same campaign, and then you don't really know, look at the campaign, for example, we just talked about campaign placements. If you have multiple ASINs, you're not going to know which one is top of search performing well. Maybe it's only one of them. While you go ahead and you cannot, you cannot really optimize to the certain extent that you want to do.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay, so I'm going to go very, very quickly on this, because I want to have enough time to go over the search term isolation as well. So, I saw a question on the chat about defense campaign. It's covered in here. You all get the presentation as well. But very, very quickly, our manual campaigns exact is mostly for sales and ranking when we target specific keywords. Phrase and broad are used for research, and I'll explain why in a second. Automatic is also for research and also sales. The reason I use auto for sales as well, because I use automatic campaign in a low bid, and sometimes lower bid can catch long tail keywords that doesn't necessarily come up in your exact phrase or broad. So I think it's important to let the auto campaign also try and get sales. I saw a question about the defense campaign. So the main key about the defense campaign is that I target my own ASINs. So if, for example, I have 20 ASINs, I want to, and all of them are related, of course, like let's say I'm in the t-shirts and I have 20 different t-shirts. Even if it's not the same t-shirt, I want to target myself. So each product is being targeted by all the other products in my brand. So that way, when someone goes into my listing, I don't want to see my competitors bidding and allowing them to steal my sales. I want people to stay inside my brand, to go from one product to another. This is the way to protect my brand and to make sure I keep my sales where I want to keep.
It's cunning. You're having your own storefront on your ASIN, so it's going to be
exactly
your product. Yeah,
exactly. So the async categories brands, for me, it's brand awareness, not necessarily sell. I talked about it in the beginning. I want to make sure that my brand is out there. I want to make sure that even for competitors, when they search something and they go to a different listing, they see my brand. Of course, it will reach sales, but from the reason I wanna engage customers with my brand, I would even allow it a slight higher echoes, just for the sake to get more traffic and make sure they see me and try to beat the competition. And for the sponsor brand, again, we have the HSA keywords of video. It's similar to the exact, mostly for sales and ranking. HSA product, similar to the async category brands. The main purpose is the brand awareness. And the PDA as well. I'm targeting my competitors. I want my brand to appear and to try and steal sales from them.